Oh, good morning, all you lovely people, on a very foggy Friday. Well, today I was going to do a video on how mainstream media are constantly bombarding us over the death of an alcoholic drug addict that fell or jumped off a balcony. But then it got me thinking, I was born a year before the end of the Cuban Missile Crisis. I've seen the Vietnam War happen and end. The Falklands. Many other wars out in the Middle East. I've seen the end of the Cold War. I've seen the Berlin Wall come down. I've seen terrorism in this country. From the IRA, from the Middle East and other parts of the world. I've lived through the swine flu outbreak. More recently, I've survived a COVID pandemic, which I'm still not convinced about. Over the last few years, I've suffered, this is in probably the last 10 years, I've suffered with a blood clot on the brain. I've had a bypass surgery. I've had strokes. Now I've developed COPD, along with polycythemia, nasty blood disorder, and a few other bits and pieces along the way. So for the last 63 years, there's been things in my life that have worried me, scared me, and made me question why I'm still here. Why am I still alive? But that is nothing compared to the fear I feel now. From what? Well, where do I start? We've got basically a world war going on. Now America's got involved out in the Middle East and actually started getting involved in some action. We're funding a war. So as far as I'm concerned, we're involved in that. But while all that's going on now, there's the fear from our own people. A corrupt police force that'll arrest you for standing and saying a silent prayer. Or silent praying, whilst allowing terrorist supporting religions blast out their prayers over public PA systems everywhere, allowing thousands on our streets promoting illegal terrorist organisations and groups committing hideous crimes with no action from them. The only action the police take is against someone who will stand up on their own and point out the fact that there's these illegal gatherings going on, these illegal chantings on illegal groups and terrorist groups, and the fact that they will lie, use false evidence backed up by a corrupt justice system to lock people up for the most menial of crimes, or even when there's none that exist altogether, whilst allowing rapists, child abusers, murderers, armed gangs, thieves on our streets with impunity. Even letting some of these dangerous people out of prison to lock what I would consider innocent people up that are guilty of nothing of a thought crime or typing on a keyboard. And this is all backed up by a lying, cheating government that is stripping us of everything we have, everything we've spent a lifetime working for, our assets, our security, our own food, our heating, even our dignity, and stripping us of our very thoughts, our very human rights. Persecuting our kids, indoctrinating our kids, They're taking away our culture, the very essence of who we are. And in cases, certain cases, taking away our very lives. Helping an invasion of our country whilst ignoring our own children being murdered on the streets, our own partners, wives, girlfriends, daughters being raped and molested on the streets. This is very frightening now. You know, it's funding wars that has fuck all to do with us, that we're not going to gain anything by. We're not going to get any return on it. We're not going to get any extra security on it. And this is down to you, the shit shower in the House of Power. That's where the buck stops. You and your narrative following, propaganda pushing, bullshit mainstream media. But unfortunately, I've got to include you, the fucking sheep out there, that have buried your fucking heads in the sand and blindly followed the narrative. The lot of you disgust me. Really. Do you disgust me to the core. You are the very reason that this country is now fucked. So I'll end with thanking you all for that. Sorry guys, this is not the video I wanted to do today. On a Friday, going into a weekend. But it's things that needed to be said. You know, as a nation, we are being flushed down the pan, every single one of us. And the thing is, these sheep that buried their heads in the sand don't realise it, but they're going to fall with us. Unless somebody does something very drastic, very soon, this country is done as a nation. We will be wiped out of existence. I'll leave it there for today, folks, because it does wind me up, but that needed to come out. I needed to get it off my chest, even if it's only for my own good. But please share that message out far and wide. Get it out there, because people need to wake up. But until then, try and stay safe, stay strong, and absolutely stay free. Respects, people.